Welcome to BossTableDiscussions. I'm your girl Michelle. I'm with Mr. Tony Long, CEO and founder of FashionBar Chicago. And we are also joined by Romeo, our buddy today. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me, Tony.
You're welcome.
I volunteered for a fashion event before, and it was a lot of fun. Can you tell us what FashionBar is and the services that you provide?
Sure. FashionBar Chicago is a fashion strategy and consulting company. So what we do is we basically bring the business to the fashion designers, which are the creative people. And so a lot of designers have problems or are not familiar with getting their business started, creating a website, doing pricing, market pricing, doing PR strategy, manufacturing and management. So we come in and kind of are the plug-in for the business side of what fashion designers need.
Right. You're like the back end helping them be able to move forward.
Correct.
With their business.
Correct.
How did you even get started with fashion, in the fashion industry?
Well, I mean, I've always loved fashion. I mean, I think fashion was a very important aspect of my life ever since I was very young. When I started, years ago, one thing that I did find is a sewing machine in my mom's closet. I was probably about 11 years old, and I found the sewing machine, and I started making things for my sister. And I lived on the west side of Chicago, down by Grand Avenue in Pulaski. And so that's where I found the sewing machine, and I started making stuff. My sister wore it. And when my sister wore it, she was my biggest advertising and marketing person when it came to promoting my sewing skills. My first model.
Thanks, sister.
And then around 17 years old, my mom had asked me what I wanted to go to school for, college-wise. And I had told her that I didn't know there was fashion. I didn't know what fashion was when I was 16 years old in the west side of Chicago. It's just you had nice things, and when you got nice things, you were happy that you had those nice things, and you kind of kept them for yourself.
Yeah.
Fashion will come into your life when you're ready for it. And so, sure enough, after working in corporations, and I traveled to London, I traveled to France, Germany, Canada, working for Fortune 100 companies, doing marketing, management, manufacturing, distribution for 17 years. After that was done, I said, I just scribbled on a piece of paper, and I said, love the fashion, raise the bar, and I basically pulled the last two words, and I created FashionBar. And so FashionBar originally was to be just a networking event, but then I realized designers were asking me to do shows, designers were asking me to help them with PR, marketing, they were asking me to do pricing for them, manufacturing, web development. So that's when I realized that my corporate background was going to be critical here, because this is everything that I've learned in 17 years, and now I'm applying it with my business.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's with such a foundation for, and your mom was right. It'll come to you, when the time is right. And yes, I think that's the coolest part about FashionBar Chicago. Like, you're really bridging that gap, and that's in your tagline as well, bridging the gap between
New York and LA.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think it's relevant because there's a lot more to fashion in the city that people think that don't think about. And some of those things happen to be, job creation. One thing that I know through my marketing and my research is that there used to be 15,000 jobs in manufacturing here in Chicago, South and West Side.
Yeah.
But when those jobs left to New York and LA, the East and the West Coast, what has happened to the South and West Side? It becomes a struggling economy for these people that really need to add value to their lives, and the best way you can do that is through fashion, beauty, and wellness. Wellness is the foundation of fashion and beauty. Without wellness, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah.
You need to be mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically well.
What is your favorite part about fashion or the industry?
I think my favorite part about the industry is basically helping people change their lives. From the designer to someone that's looking for a job, to rebranding Chicago in a way that it becomes a cosmopolitan city. It's not so aggressive. It becomes more multifaceted.
Yes.
And Chicago can become that way.
So there's definitely a need. There's definitely a need for FashionBar Chicago.
Absolutely.
fashion excites me, but yeah, it's definitely not at a level if I go to New York or when I go to LA,
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely growing. I see that.
I mean, it's got to grow because I mean, like that's the pendulum, right? I mean, the pendulum is the way the city is that the pendulum is all shifted on one side, which is all of this aggression that is in the city. But when you add fashion, beauty, and wellness, it's the feminine side of a human being, and so when you add that pendulum would shift a little bit more. It won't be as aggressive. It'll have some warmth. It'll have some personality. It'll have some emotion. And that's what fashion brings to the world. Is your personal view through the way you dress.
April 25th, you have a model etiquette seminar for models that are interested in signing up. What are some of the things that they'll get out of the seminar?
For the model seminars that we currently have, we do this randomly right before Fashion Week. But the reason why we're doing these seminars is because we want to work with up and coming, emerging models and really prepare them for the next step is to walk into these shows and really represent the designer brands accordingly. And so if the models do really well in this etiquette, they will be picked to walk at Fashion Week. And once they're picked to walk at Fashion Week, then we'll help them build their portfolio so that way they can actually move into an agency. We've got agency contacts here in Chicago, and so we would just make sure that these models are able to actually go to a path of success versus just kind of roaming around trying to figure out what they need to do.
So if you're currently a model in Chicago, definitely sign up on their website, FashionBarChicago.com, so that you can take part in the model etiquette seminar.
Yep.
Another exciting event that's coming up, Chicago, you had mentioned it, Chicago Fashion Week.
Sure.
Remind me of the dates.
That's actually scheduled from April 23rd to April 30th.
April 23rd to the 30th.
Yeah, those are 7 days of shows. We have a show each day. The biggest show that we're going to be doing is going to be 4 blocks away from McCormick Place. That's on April 28th. That's on a Saturday. That show is going to be massive because we're forecasting about 550 people to come to that show, and that show is actually strategically set to be 4 blocks away from McCormick Place because 30 to 40,000 people will be flying into Chicago for the Midwest Beauty Show.
Oh, okay.
So where there's hair and makeup, there's fashion. So
Yes.
that's our way to kind of cross market.
Nice. Awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it takes so many different dimensions, to bring a show to life.
Sure.
So I'm sure you guys are busy, like just getting everything set up and place, people, hair, makeup, models,
right.
Even people to set up the stages and things like that. Thank you so much, Tony, for sitting down, and Romeo for sitting down and talking about fashion and your business, FashionBar Chicago.
Thank you.
Be sure to check them out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and their website, FashionBarChicago.com. You definitely want to keep up with everything that they're doing. This is definitely the place you want to be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye,
guys.
Bye-bye.
Sit down with me, let's have a discussion.